Aimi desu. How are you guys? I'm so glad to be doing another video for you guys today. I'm pretty excited because I've been working on it all morning on information and going a little bit more detail. I decided to, with doing a ReviewaTuber, I'm doing I'm doing actually more background checks on them, going off, finding claims and stuff like that, because I didn't realize there's so much drama in a lot of different things, and it kind of goes and changes my perspective of, certain YouTubers, which I thought was pretty neat, and then maybe you guys might not even know about it. It would be cool to go ahead and talk about it today. Well, the one we're going to talk about today is the all-knowing BuzzFeed. You cannot get away from BuzzFeed. It's in your Twitter, it's in your Instagram, it is in your Facebook, all over Facebook, YouTube galore, and there's so many different segments. There's one, they could be serious ones like politics, and then it goes all the way down to Americans trying Australian snacks. It's everywhere, and they give out life hacks, and I mean, oh my god, I have a love-hate relationship with BuzzFeed. I love watching a lot of their stuff. Sometimes they'll do recipes, sometimes they'll do, different people trying different things, which is pretty cool, and learning about different languages and stuff like that. So a lot of it's very educational and pretty cool, but then there are some, it's like, how much am I going to keep seeing BuzzFeed? And it gets to the point of, ugh, BuzzFeed, just go away. Don't want to see you anymore. But I'll get all into that in detail. But let's go ahead and talk about BuzzFeed as a whole. Now, I've done my research this morning. I'm just rearranging some stuff on the screen so I can read some of the stuff and notes I made. Talking about the history of BuzzFeed. Jonah, and I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Jonah Peretti, born on New Year's Day, 1974. He attended MIT. And after MIT, he worked for a artist creative nonprofit studio called iBeam. And that's when he meets Ken, and again, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Ken Lehrer and Andrea Huffington, which obviously they both have, the same goal of creating a internet media company. And that's when, around May 2005, the Huffington Post came to be. After a year, though, with HP, Jonah decided to go ahead and go back to his roots, and he goes with John Johnson and back with Ken as well, and they co-found Contagious Media LLC. And that's when the rough outlines of BuzzFeed became to be. And it's pretty funny because they used to have the old storyboards, little whiteboards where they write all their information and brainstorm. And one of the ones I saw online, which I thought was pretty funny, was a whiteboard, and they were just talking about different topics or whatever of how BuzzFeed is going to be BuzzFeed. And they literally, there was this one phrase that they put, college humor equals pussies. So it was definitely a rough draft board. Obviously, they're cleaned up now. They're a more respected company. But it was just kind of funny. I wanted to note that. Back in September 2006, Peggy Wayne ends up joining the team as the first editorial hire at Contagious Media. And then she ends up becoming, later on, the editorial director of BuzzFeed Life. And then, like I said before, there are thousands of different types and little spins off of BuzzFeed. There's BuzzFeed Life. I know there's one for food, one for, they have the Try Guys and Try Friends and all those. They have all different little spins off. Let's see. Originally, when they first finally launched, it was back in November 2006. Peggy did all the authoring for the first pieces of their content. And it was a little bit more straight-laced than it is today. Obviously, it's more streamlined to us, but it's definitely very professional at the time. Now they're a little bit more relaxed and have their own personality to it. Let's see. Then, in April, they hired a bunch of notable staff. During this time in 2006, they hired Scott Lamb and Eric Harris. Then they have, then in April of 2008. Now, I was a business major, so at one point, so I kind of know a little bit about this. And they actually use this as, well, not really use this as a dialogue, but they talked about it, but they didn't have a name for it at the time, which is, and let me read the notes here I have, that in April 2008, it was starting to pick up the pace as they got into investments with companies to help meet their demands. So basically what they really wanted to at the time, they needed money. You know, people wanted more and more. They couldn't keep up with it because, you know, putting all these hours, putting all this stuff, it obviously requires money. So they had to get some investments, and that's why you see a lot of, like, when they go, oh, try different Oreos, that is an ad campaign. Oh, Nutella this, that was an ad campaign. Those, when you see something and it has a specific brand that's molded into that video, it's usually because it is an advertising campaign. And what it is called native advertising. And to explain what it is, native advertising is a type of advertising, usually online but feasible elsewhere, that matches the form and functions of the platform upon which it appears. It was something basically they kind of really, like, it was out there, but they really didn't have a name or a term, and nobody successfully had really made it blossom in the way, you know, executed it correctly. BuzzFeed really did, and then BuzzFeed then became BuzzFeed Inc. and closes at 3.5 million Series A, led by SoftBank and Hertz Ventures. So they really did well with that. Like, I'm so shocked, and it is. But the whole thing is, like, you didn't notice it. Like, when you watch the Nutella video, and that's one of their first ones, when they say it's presented by Nutella, and there was just the way the advertising of the video, and they're doing different recipes, they're doing different things you can eat with Nutella, what's in Nutella, like, they talk about it, and they give you these little tidbits of information. You're like, oh, that's cool. But you're not realizing they're just saying, buy Nutella. Like, it's amazing. I like how they did it. It was pretty cool. And it worked out a lot. Then, I didn't even know this. This was a really cool fact that I had not known. BuzzFeed, back in October of 2008, actually had created their first big meme that went crazy, which is Disaster Girl, and it was by Scott Lamb. Now, I'm not sure if you guys had to see this one. What it's about is this girl, it's a little girl with short hair. In the background, a house is on fire, and you see the fire trucks, and the fire guys are trying to, put out the fire. And she looks at the camera like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I did that shit. And I remember the first time I've seen that meme, and it wasn't on BuzzFeed, but I did see the meme of, I found a spider in my house. It's dead now. Like, that was the meme that I saw at the time. But they actually had created that meme, and that's what kind of basically blew them up. Let's see. In 2009, they started to grow rapidly by taking internet native formats like GIFs, pins, tweets, and treating them as equals to traditional formats like long-form writing. So a lot of the BuzzFeed stuff that you see, it's very similar to kind of like Reddit, even though, Reddit's more creative, kind of like cesspool of everybody putting all their memes in there, like iFunny, like trying to get popular, but that's when they really were getting into it themselves, using that, and how do you put it? It's very great that they did that in the way, and it's a great business venture. You got to think about it, us nowadays, especially the younger kids who are all into memes, and they're all into GIFs and GIFs or whatever they are, and they had really brought that up. They really go up and they went and hit the social media of the kids of the group. Like, again, I remember going to the library for my information. It wasn't until later in high school I was actually using the internet. But a lot of it was just doing what I had to do, to get that information. Like the kids today, they have the internet. They have it. They were born with it. It was introduced to their lives since the day they came on this earth. and that's all they know. That's their source of information. That's the way they get their media. They don't watch the TV or the news today. Like, I have a TV right above here, and they don't sit down and watch the news. I don't watch the news as much as I used to because I can get it so quickly on the internet. Boom, it's on the Facebook, everyone's sharing it. And I do have, like, news apps. But I actually do miss the time where, at 6 o'clock after dinner is made, me and my family are sitting down after just having dinner and want to watch the news. And to watch the news to learn about different things. Now, they took it up and they really hit where people are going now. Like, the ways the TVs is going. The only thing that's going to be left with the TVs is that movies. Like, nobody gets cable anymore. You can watch all these, a lot of the shows, like Hulu. Like, Hulu has a really great advertised base of how they do their things, which Netflix better jump on it quick, because if they don't jump on it, Hulu's going to win all the time. Certain shows like, what is it? Alright, one of my favorite shows that I watch on Hulu is Sailor Moon Crystal. It is a new show, and what's really cool is that when it airs on, that's not a good, hold on, because that one needs to be translated for a lot of people, and sometimes it takes a while. But let's just say that if I was going to watch in Japanese, what would happen is that it would air, say it would air at 6 o'clock Friday night. I can go home at 6 o'clock on Friday night, turn on that Hulu, and it will already be there. Empire is another great one. And Empire happens on this day at this time frame. I can immediately go home and watch it at the exact point in time on Hulu. Or, if because I have to work that night, I can just watch it the next morning. Because it will be on there. So I don't have to go and turn on the TV or record on DVR. We save a lot of money by just going ahead and do that. We have the basic of the basic cable. We only watch, News Channel 10 for, like, weather updates and big news things when our internet's down. But then it's just like, again, we have the internet to do everything. We have our phones. As long as our phones are charged, we're connected to the world. And I think BuzzFeed was really smart to jump on that and to get to people to relate, especially with these GIFs and memes and all this stuff. They really attached on to, I guess, that social circle, that of that age group, to really help them boost up their ratings. Let me go back over through my list again. Then in January 2010, they signed on with their first client for promotion content on Comedy Central to help promote Tosh.0, which Tosh.0 is a really good series. Some of it's just like, wow. But I enjoy it, especially when I want to laugh. I want to see something weird today. That's my stuff. Let's see. They ended up landing John Steinberg, formerly from Google, in May 2010 to be the new president of handling the business side of the operations. There's a reason why I'm mentioning it, but I'm going to go through the timeline. There was a big controversy, though, when it came up. They ended up really focusing on there was one side of BuzzFeed that was really like major seriousness, and they were going over the political coverages. And they end up coming up with the breaking news of Senator John McCain plans to endorse former rival Mitt Romney. They had, I think it was Michael Hastings. Michael Hastings was going over the re-election campaign during that time. However, apparently in March 2012, they became under fire for lifting images and ideas from Reddit and other forums from the web without properly crediting the original creators. However, and here's my point on that one, unless you put a watermark, unless you put something in the video that says, this is from BuzzFeed, this is from so-and-so, unless you really put it there or say presents, this belongs to somebody, it really isn't, and especially when you go on Reddit, when you go on 4chan, when you go on iFunny, you put your stuff on there, you don't put your tag on there, you don't put your little name in there, you're going to lose it. Not lose it, but it's not your original art. If you wanted something to be up and to be recognized that it is your art, then go to DevArt. When you post a thing, usually you can pay with your account and put a watermark that says DevArt belongs to the owner, so people can't just save as and keep it and then claim it as their own. So that's when it comes to where I think Reddit and the other forums started bitching too much. They were being little bitches, because it's like, unless you put a tag on there saying that it is your original idea, you kind of lose it. And it's funny because Ben Smith responds by saying that BuzzFeed's remixed and refined listics, I think I wrote that wrong, often curated from Reddit, are works of art, which that's true. And the Jonah then says, he explains that nothing on the internet is original, which again, true. I remember seeing that the Disaster Girl photograph, that was by BuzzFeed. People swipe that and they make their own little things to it. Again, I saw it completely different. I didn't even know it was by BuzzFeed originally. It was just by somebody else. And like I said, they talked about spiders in it. The original was just the photograph. So, again, nothing's original. But even then, people can put their own spin on things, which is funny. And that's what the world should be a little bit more creative. Okay, let's see here. What else did I got on my nose? There's a bunch of other different things that I was going through with them. In 2012 in September, BuzzFeed acquires Kingfish Labs. They then launch a news maker speaker series called BuzzFeed Brewers. That's back in January 2013. Then they started going international in 2013 around springtime in the UK, which was really cool. And I've actually followed both of them. And then at that point in the fall in 2013, Jonah was able to go ahead and announce that BuzzFeed was a profitable company, which is really good for him, and congratulations on that. That was pretty cool. Then here's a rumor. Now, I did some research, but I'm not sure if it's real or not. The only legit people I kind of was interested in actually reading the article was Business Insider. And in April 2014, and I'm reading their quotes, reports claim that Disney tried to acquire BuzzFeed when they asked for at least $1 billion. According to Business Insider, the $1 billion was a little steep for Disney, which paid $500 million for Maker Studios last month. Fortune reports that talks with BuzzFeed were winding down as just talks with Maker Studios were heating up. While BuzzFeed already had more traffic than the Huffington Post did when it sold for $315 million, or Bleacher's reports when it sold for $200 million, it doesn't quite strategically fit within Disney, according to Fortune sources. Disney focuses on acquiring and... Oh God, I'm sorry. I can't type. I'm just typing so fast. And gating... Okay, well, basically, short terms. Basically, what they wanted is that Disney was focusing on acquiring different properties when it has to will help monetize. Everyone knows Disney is money, 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 money. They work for hard with a movie, so they know it will turn a profit. Like Genius Frozen, oh my God, I see Frozen things everywhere. Like from frickin' doormats to frickin' bedspreads to frickin' towels, dolls, clothing, makeup, like everything. Like they marketed everything. Star Wars. I mean, holy crap. Like if Lucas, before he sold it to Disney, had Disney's way of really advertising, he would probably make 3 times more money with all the things, with just his line of Star Wars. I mean, yeah, he made a lot of money already with it, but the way Disney's marketing team is the best of the best. And I guarantee it, you'd have fucking Star Wars underwear and socks and glasses frames and God knows what. Nail art, for crying out loud. So, I mean, heck, they teamed up with, I think it was CoverGirl, and they have a Star Wars makeup line. Makeup line. what? But you know what? People buy it. They know. They know how to market shit. And so they love the way that BuzzFeed was marketing. So it seems that they wanted to jump in on that. They do say that BuzzFeed, the $1 billion price tag was very, was a little too expensive for them, especially after buying Maker Studios. But they do believe that this company can be a $1 billion worth property. Like, it is worth that much. And that's basically the breakdown of that quote. And then, but when questioned, both BuzzFeed and Disney, they declined to comment on the Fortune story. But BuzzFeed spokesperson reportedly said that it's not in the talks with any companies and is focused on becoming a big independent company. And I will put a link to this and where I got all my notes from down in the comments, in the description below. So if you guys want to go through it, like I said, there's a lot of cool information if you want to go through it. I'm only reading some little highlights that I thought were interesting about the company. But with that article, I don't think it was, and maybe it was just a rumor. There was just maybe because Maker Studios was being bought out. So, on the Maker Studio line, BuzzFeed was right there. Disney would probably be stupid not to attempt to go after BuzzFeed. I think that would be perfect. But I don't think it would be as crazy. I mean, it's definitely, I think it, what I was saying before, I think it's definitely, the company's definitely worth $1 billion. But they can go so much more with BuzzFeed. And you know what? Having Disney monopolize BuzzFeed on that whole social channel, I mean, it'll be screaming with Disney shit, and we're going to try to probably die. Just because the way BuzzFeed right now, and one of my biggest problems with BuzzFeed is the same content over and over and over again. And again, we'll get into that in a minute. All right. So, in April of 2014, BuzzFeed video reaches up to 1 billion views. In May 2013, BuzzFeed president and COO John Steinberg ends up leaving because there was apparently tension between him and the original creator, Jonah. Is it Joan or Jonah? I don't know. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Are the cause, and he's replaced by Greg Coldman. And Steinberg ends up joining the Daily Mail. Again, I tried looking into this more, see if that was really the reason between them bumping heads. However, I do not see, everything said the same, basically same thing, so I just let it go. However, here's another little bit of drama. Okay. Now, and it's tough with YouTube, it's tough with anything you do today, wanting to get credit for what you do. And, July 2014, Gawker catches one of BuzzFeed's most really important writers, Benny Johnson. He was the viral politics editor for lifting texts from various sources on the internet. Deeper into the investigation reveals that Johnson plagiarizes more than 40 times. Why am I thinking a bigger number? About 40 times. A lot of it you can actually type into Yahoo and they come from Yahoo Answers. Like, are you kidding me? Like, a lot of people, getting the idea to do this and like for example, this whole segment, I have not seen anybody review a tuber. I've seen them do like roasts and stuff like that. So I hopefully am hopefully thinking I'm not plagiarizing anybody else's work on YouTube. But, if I am, again, I don't want to, I'm putting a disclaimer now that I did not mean to steal anybody's original idea or content. And you got to think about it. Just the idea of wanting to post a video, either it's vlogging or either hauls, makeup tutorials, whatnot. If you're posting this, just the idea of posting on YouTube. Every YouTuber had the same idea. I want to post something on YouTube. Now, everyone has their own theme, their own style. And that's where the artistic about it comes along. And people have to understand, they have to not be careful, but people also have to be flattered that people want to do the same thing that they're doing. And you have to understand, plagiarism happens. Unless it's like word for word, but people are going to have the same style. And people, like, I've seen people, like, on comments on different people attacking certain people. Like, and I'm using this as an example. This is not a real thing that really happened. It's just the only thing I can think about. It's like, for example, if it was for me wanting to do, does this thing really work segments, basically copying Bunny's idea. Bunny came up with that originally. Now, I've seen people through a YouTube, and they'd be fighting over it like, oh, you stole this from somebody else. And I've seen other people go off and they do their own spin-off of the same thing. But you know what? Everyone had to get the idea from somebody to even get onto YouTube. So if anything, we all plagiarized each other, Let's see here. And all the instances of the plagiarisms were all removed from the site. So all of it's all removed. And Johnson was fired, and he was replaced. And and Ben Smith apologized. He's the EIC. And then, as we go into more currently, as of August 2015, the company is now worth $850 million. And wow. Like, wow. Now, there's so much you can go into it. Like I said, I will put the links down below of the information I got. Some of it was a Business Insider. Some of it was a lot from A Brief History of BuzzFeed, and then obviously Wikipedia. And so definitely go ahead and check out those articles down below. See if you want to learn a little bit more about BuzzFeed. My whole thing about BuzzFeed and now rating it actually as a YouTube, and I have to put BuzzFeed as a whole, even though they have different segments here and there. That drives me nuts. But I have some love and I have some hate. I really do like some of their stuff. I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you. I really love their, what is the name of the show? Hold on. I love the Try Guys. I think they're funny. I love their Try Gals, or whatever they're girls. They have a set of girls that they use. They're funny. I do like a lot of the things that they do, like I said, when like American tries Japanese snacks or Australian snacks. But as you can see, as I go through there, it gets sickening. American tries Vietnamese snacks, and they try French snacks, and then who else? And then you have Australians trying, American snacks. Okay, BuzzFeed. We get it. We get it. I'm the type of person who don't like repeating myself. And you post out so many of these videos sometimes, it gets sickening. And I understand with the platform that you use for every one of your videos, you are actually starting to kill it. People are starting to slightly get annoyed. And, you may lose viewers, but you need to step up your game with something else. Like, I really like the fact that you used a lot of, like, the Try Guys. Originally, you used them a lot for your videos and having them do different things. But now, with actually having their own little segment, I like how you did that, and then you're bringing some new people for the other things. Because it should be just random people. It really shouldn't be your staff. That's, like, one thing I don't... besides the Try Guys and all them, like, certain people that you have on the show that I really do like, that you do all these experiments on. But you should actually bring outsiders. Not somebody that, not, oh, this is my friend so-and-so. I'm having him do this, and do speed dating with this other person that's a friend of the other person who works for the company. No, you should get people off the streets. You should get people in real life. You should get maybe real YouTubers, maybe get them in on it, and that's a good marketing that you guys can work each other off backs. You need something else. I don't know which, and I would love to tell you, but I don't know. It's just too repetitive, and I'm the type of person, I hate repeating myself, and when people repeat themselves, it irritates me. It's like, I heard you the first time. I ain't deaf. I seen it the first time. I ain't gonna see it again. It's like, I do love when you do like these life hacks and stuff like that. And it's cool. It's a great idea and it's smart. But stop. After the 80th video, you should stop. Stop. Just stop. Because I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of watching it. And I scroll through. You know, I know that you work so hard doing what you do, and I get that. But if you want to stay and make your point of going to $1 billion, be $1 billion worth company, ooh, excuse me, I burped. You need to go ahead and switch it up a bit. You got to do something else. You know, don't get too comfortable. And that's the worst mistake a lot of people do, is get comfortable with what they do, and people don't want to see them anymore. Start collaborating with other people or other companies, come up with new artistic ideas, make sure you change it up, because if you don't change it up, you're going to kill it. You will. And then you're going to go from making $850 million a year, and everyone's going to forget who you are. So just, as a word of warning. Now, do I recommend this to you? Yes. I mean, I don't even have to recommend it. You're probably seeing it in your freaking Facebook newsfeed all the effing time. You must see it in your freaking YouTube, right on the feature page. Usually there's a whole row that's just BuzzFeed as it is. So, I don't have to review it to you. And, I mean, I like it, yes. Some of the things I do like, some of the things I do ignore. So, I would probably give this out of 5 stars, maybe 3.5. I don't like the repetitive. You're a little too much out there, but you need to. I think what would bring me back and give you a whole set of 5 stars if you go ahead and you change up a little something new, something else. Start on something else. Like the Try Guys, I think was definitely a good way, especially because now they were a big face of your company, in the YouTube land. I think they were really great, especially when you went through the whole mother stipulation, of how to feel when pregnant, how labor feels, and stuff like that, like waxing, experience women's life of wearing lingerie and stuff like that. I thought that was phenomenal. That was a great idea. I love those videos. I'm so excited when they pop up because I want to see it. And believe me, I make my fiance watch them all the time. Like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is hilarious. That's the pain I go through when I gave birth to my kids. Like, it's a great video. Like, those were amazing. And I like something like that. Especially so people can also understand. But, a lot of people need to jump on the bandwagon. You need to start waking up and go, oh no, I'm so comfortable. Stop being comfortable, Mr. Scrooge McDuck. Don't be comfortable in your little money vault. Get out of it and look for something new. Spiff it up a little bit. Get some new people in there with new ideas and fresh things. Because, like with any company, things go downhill and you'll disappear as quickly as you appeared. So, but I definitely do recommend. You can go ahead. I don't have to recommend. You've seen them all. I guarantee you, everybody in their lifetime has at least seen one BuzzFeed video. But, they're good. They're good. I just hope they can stop repeating. I think they've been hearing us lately because I haven't seen as many videos as often, but you never know what happens. So, we'll have to see. Well, thank you guys. This is my time for today. I hope you guys like this video. Give me a like, subscribe to this video. You can also give me a dislike. If you want to tell me why you dislike it, leave it in the comments down below. You have some positive feedback or some actually cool information tips about BuzzFeed that I didn't even mention. Go ahead and leave in the comments down below. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Mwah. Have a great day.